question for you. I've never asked him a question. I should start asking you questions. How does Wonder Woman find her invisible plane?
She has special contact lenses?
No.
Do you know?
No, that's why I had a question. Like, no, she's born on Amazon. They didn't have contact lenses. I'm just saying, I'm sure there's a reason why. The lasso of truth. She'd make a horrible girlfriend. Hello, adventurers. So I am excited about this episode because it is about Google Hangouts, which is one of my favorite things about social media and online right now, because I have teams in, I think, 3 different time zones, in about 7 different cities that I have to talk to, some of them on a daily basis. Some of them I can't even be at my desktop or one of my offices. I have to be on my mobile. So this allows us to communicate. You know, there's something about, I don't like email because I think it's just a really bad form of communication. Unless you're sending a factual exchange of information, like here is an itinerary that's about what it's good for, you don't know tone sometimes. So people don't know how to read texts and some of those. So sometimes it's great just to look somebody in an eye. Go and say, oh, look, this is what I'm talking about. And I point my phone at it and they're seeing that. It allows us to kill distance and we can be in the same room and we can jump in and out of Hangouts and talk to each other. So it is great for communication, especially when you're trying to communicate, motivate teams, and when those aren't always in the same place. So because Google Hangouts is built inside of Google Plus and it's integrated with things like Google Calendar, Google Drive, and YouTube, you see how the potential eventually is pretty amazing. Down the road, we're also going to do an episode just on Google Hangouts on air. So we're going to talk about Google Hangouts, and that's for a team to collaborate, but you can turn that Google Hangout into a Google Hangout on air, and what that does is that Hangout is broadcast live on YouTube, and then it records that and it becomes great training material. In the 100-Day Adventure, we are going to be doing even a few Google Hangouts as part of Adventure Support. We are going to be doing those at least once a month where you can ask questions and we're going to work together, and that would be a Google Hangout on air. So I thought the best way to show you is to actually do one. So let's do a Google Hangout with Adventure Support right now. So we're right over here in my Google Plus, and we're at my current profile right now. Now there's a couple of ways that we can do a Google Hangout. If we go into the upper left-hand corner, this is where we can go to Hangouts. A video Hangout. I'm going to start a video Hangout right now, and I'm going to invite a couple of people to that. Also, it's going to give me a link, so I could take this link and I could text it to somebody. I can also send it to a particular circle. You also can add a telephone number. So we'll go to invite people here. So I'm just going to pick 4 people really quick to jump in this Hangout. So while we're waiting for anybody else just to jump in, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of this Google Hangout. When you take your mouse and you click over it and go to the top, this is where you could invite more people. So let's say you're talking about a conversation, you say, you know what, we need to invite X person. You can invite them directly, but also remember, if we move over there to the right, we can have that link or this URL right up there. We can then text that person, etc. Also, what's really, really great is understand that we don't always have to be on the desktop. So, for example, we have Jeremiah and we have Logan, and they are actually using their phones. So there's an app, and it also works on an iPad or any tablet. So if you have that app, that's what they're doing, and they can be anywhere with that. And you see what I'm doing is I'm clicking, I can click on the different people. So as that they're talking, now if you're on a Hangout, I'm not switching it. You can talk, you can click on whoever you're wanting to talk to there. I have Aaron just jumped in, and Aaron works in our Adventure Support. How do you use Google Hangouts with our team?
Well, we use Google Hangouts to do quite a few different thends on our team. Since we were cloud-based and we're all over the country, when we need to touch base and get a few minutes face-to-face to go over what we're doing in our back-end support or what we're doing technically, oftentimes we'll jump on and we'll spend a few minutes on Google Hangout just connecting, getting game plan, and going over some details of what we're going to be working on that day. A lot of times for us, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute time, but sometimes getting just a few minutes face-to-face can really set us up to be more to be more effective and to just be more thoughtful in what we're working on as a team.
Don't you find that it really makes a difference to the relationship side of working? That it's not just ones and zeros and bits and bytes, but now it becomes people when you're using Google Hangout?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's funny because several of the members of our team I met first on Google Hangout. So I was actually able to build and establish a relationship to a point where I felt like I really knew them long before I'd ever been able to even shake their hand. And so I was in a place where, I'm already building a relationship, connecting with them because of what Google Hangouts have allowed us to do as a team.
That's really, really great. Now what you see is, so I have Aaron and I have Jeremiah on this. I have Logan in here. We have Mariah. There's Mariah, making all of us look ugly. I realize we are in the same room, Jeremiah and I. We have Logan in another room. We have Mariah in Boston, and we have Aaron in Arkansas. And now we're all there, and we all can be having different conversations. So I showed you up here what some of these are. We're going to go over here to the left. You have different things like, for example, I'll have chat. So over here on the left, this is where, for example, we have chat. When you go over to chat, this is over here. We can send chat messages there. So let's say I'm talking about something and saying, oh, here's maybe a different website. Well, I can put www.website.com, and then this will have that link. Then if I needed to, for example, I just hit that button and it will capture that screen for me. See down here, so it took a quick photo for me if I needed to do that. The toolbar. What's great about toolbar is now it's saying it's downloading that app. You download it each time. If you are doing, let's say, a Google Hangout on air, this will allow me to, let's say, put what is called a lowered third. So now it's looking backwards to me, but it looks right for everybody else, and it has a little bit of a lower third. Now, if you'll notice, I'm going to go back to where we had Aaron, and he is now showing some adventure support. So this is now, I'm presenting to all of you, and I can say, hey, Aaron, go over to backpack and show everybody, something in the backpack area. Remote desktop. What remote desktop allows you to do is, let's say that I actually had to do some technical support where you needed to go in and work on somebody's computer, not work on it like IT heavy duty, but even just, hey, let me show you how to set that up. That allows basically that somebody is working, let's say, on their desktop and they can't fix something or show me how to do something, I can take control of their computer. So that is really great there. The other thing that I want to do is I'm going to click on Google Effects, and this is the last thing I'm going to show you. Let's say I'm feeling a little bit into a pirate mood today. So what this does is, it's pretty cool, is it's tracking my head here, and I can have a meeting as a pirate on the little blue and black puppy. Yeah, so I look pretty amazing. You can do sound effects. Sometimes they don't laugh at me, so I can have all of that. Yes. So this is where Google Hangouts can then also be just a ton of fun. And of course, you need to go back to the capture so that we actually can take a picture of that. That is our episode on how to do Google Hangouts. I think you'll love it. The last thing that you have to do is end the call right here. So there you have it. Google Hangouts are absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite things. I can't wait to be in a lot of Google Hangouts with you. Here is what I want you to do, is I want you to initiate a Google Hangout with somebody on your team. Now, you've asked back and forth for different people to be in those circles. So hopefully you've done that, and you can have a team, and I want you to create a Google Hangout, and I want you to try it. Try to just become familiar with it, because I think you are going to absolutely love it. It is going to be part of making your adventure incredible. We can have our adventure anywhere in the world with anybody in the world, and your adventure begins right now.